Hi everyone, it's Ashley with Relaxing Creations Company. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. We are making cold process soap again today. My oils and butters are at room temperature, all melted down, and that is my lye solution. So if you look at the temperatures there, we are within 10 degrees of each other, which is the recommended temperature difference. In goes our coconut milk. And then what's floating there on top of the oils is my kaolin clay. I like to add the coconut milk and the kaolin clay in first. That way I can blend it as much as I want and have all the time that I need to get that fully incorporated into the batter or into the oils at this point. We're shaking out all the bubbles out of the shaft there, and we're going to go ahead and blend away. I've recently switched over to doing room temperature soaping. Before, I just didn't give myself the time. When I wanted to make soap, it was one of those things where I made it, I got to go make soap now because this is when I have the time. I didn't pre-take the time to get everything ready. So I really like the heat transfer method, and I'll probably still go back to it from time to time. But with my recipe that I use, I just had such a hard time with my soap speeding up trace and thickening up on me too bad. So doing the room temperature has really helped with my soap designs. Shea butter is one of the culprits, I think, for my recipe. And I know I do overstick blend because I'm not dealing with a very large batch. My batch here is just roughly for a 5-pound mold. So we have everything in here now except for our fragrance oil, which you can see it sitting off to the side there. And I'm going to go ahead and just blend this up until it's at an emulsion, just making sure everything's going to stay together when we pour it off. We're not going to have it separate. So there'll be plenty more stick blending to come when we get our colors in. Okay, so I just poured just a little bit off there. What I'm adding to the large bucket is my titanium dioxide. I am having some issues with it, as you can see. That was a new batch that I had pre-mixed up into some olive oil, and I must have not gotten everything blended well because I do have some titanium dioxide stuck in the nozzle there, which unfortunately end result did cause some speckles in my soaps. But again, that's just cosmetic. There's no problem with that. I've just never had that issue before, so I need to make sure that I'm getting that titanium dioxide fully dissolved in the oil. And what we're adding to the small one here is our activated charcoal. And I got that at Nurture Soap. I believe the titanium dioxide, I'm still using the kind that I got off of Amazon. It's lasted me quite some time. I got a big bag of it on Amazon. And titanium dioxide can either be water soluble or oil soluble. I do mine in olive oil, or sometimes in my titanium dioxide I always do in olive oil because I have a container there you saw that was pre-mixed up. So we're getting all the air out of our stick blender there just by shaking it down there or by tapping it. That's very, very important. If not, you get a bunch of tiny itty bitty little air bubbles suspended throughout your batter, and those don't always come out. And surprisingly, they're very, very noticeable. Again, doesn't make a problem with your soap. It's strictly cosmetic, but you can always hear when you got some air stuck in there. So the best way is to prevent that is by smacking it on the bottom or shaking it. And I always take a rubber spatula there, a silicone spatula, and scrape the sides of my mold, the bottom of my mold, just to make sure everything has been fully incorporated in the batter. The last thing you want is just a pocket of unmixed soap, because that will show up so much in your end result. On camera here, that white soap looks so creamy, and in person it does as well. I used to make the mistake when I was really new, is I would want to add more titanium dioxide because it still had such a creamy look, but it always finishes a really nice white. So do not put too much titanium dioxide in your mixture. It's going to look a little creamy. If you put too much titanium dioxide in, your soap will be almost crumbly. So be cautious about what you put in it. And we're going to just alternate the colors here. And today we're using my mold that I got from Worktop Heritage. This is basically my main mold now. I still have the ones I got from Nurture Soap, and I love them, but I like the tall skinny bars a lot more than the short fat ones. So this is definitely my favorite mold. If you haven't checked them out yet, Workshop Heritage has some wonderful soap products. My batter here is still very, very fluid, so it is something that I kind of wish I would have let it set up a little bit more, because a lot of that black at the bottom is just getting completely blended in, which is what you want, but you also want the colors to hold their own. So look at all the time that I've had with this. Okay, we have most of the batter in. Now I'm going in with my homemade hanger tool to do the hanger swirl. I just used a clothes hanger that was plastic wrapped, and I cut it and bent it to fit the mold here that I have. They do sell hanger tools. I know Nurture Soap makes them as well and sells them. I don't know what other places have them, but I've heard of people making them out of a few different things. The clothes hanger has worked really well for me. If you want something a little bit thicker though, gear cables, I believe is what they're called, as some people use. So all of the white batter is in. I do have a little bit of the black left that I'm going to go ahead and drizzle on top here. And the fragrance, I don't know if I've told you guys yet, the fragrance that I'm using for this one is the Giorgio Armani dupe. It is an imitation for their, I believe it's Aqua. It's a wonderful fragrance. My husband actually has the cologne itself, and this is very, very close. So if that's a fragrance that your significant other or yourself really like, then look into this one. I'm going to call this one Aqua. And I'll probably keep this one in my lineup, at least for some time. We'll see how it does. Oh my goodness, you always make such a mess when you're soaping. Look at the soap batter that we get everywhere. So take the time to clean up. This is again why gloves are very important, because you're just literally splashing batter of lye everywhere. So safety protocols, safety first when soaping. Please do your research if you are thinking about soaping or if you're new to soaping. There's lots of educational videos that you can watch. Just make sure that you do your research and always have your safety equipment. So we're coming in for a close shot here. We got the mold cleaned up for the most part. I'll do a little bit more tidying off the camera. I'm just taking a a coffee stirring stick and just doing a very simple swirl design on the top here. That's one of my favorite things, is designing the top of the soap mold or the soap batter here. I think possibilities are endless of what you can do to the top. So here we have it. That looks gorgeous and it smells amazing. So I went ahead and covered that up. I did spray it with 91% isopropyl alcohol and I covered it up, unmolded it. I believe this one I actually let it sit for 2 days, but you can unmold usually within 18 to 24 hours later. I slice mine into 2 loaves and then those loaves get sliced into the actual soap bars. Right now, I am cutting my sample sizes for my sample packs. We do have sample packs on the shop, and those are cut at half the size of our regular soap bars. We cut our regular bars at 1.25 inches, and then we do plane and bevel those down so they have a very nice, smooth, and comfortable finish for holding in your hands. I love the way that the white and black looks. I think that just looks so pretty. But if you see how it's very, very light at the bottom, my batter was still very thin. I could have waited for it to sit up a little bit more to have a thicker swirl in there with the black. But it still turned out really nice. This soap is now available and listed in the shop if it's something that you're interested in. We have a lot of fabulous products coming and a lot of fabulous products listed. We do sugar scrubs, bubble baths, lotion bars will be added soon. We have lip balm added, and I'll have some more fragrances added soon. And we will soon be having wax melts or wax tarts added to the shop. But the majority of our listings are for our soap bars right now. If you're one of those people that do not like soap bars because of the sliminess that your soap is, you always stick with body wash, give a soap bar a try. Make sure you get yourself a soap dish that has a drainable soap dish or something that has a soap saver in it, and I promise you won't regret it. Having a bar of soap is very, very nice with the shea butter. Sometimes our soap is made with cocoa butter. They're very, very luxurious. Leave your skin feeling wonderful. Ooh, that's a very pretty bar right there. See, that's what I was going for when I designed it. That one looks really gorgeous. I love the swirl. So guys, I want to thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and wrap the video up now. Thank you for watching. Please, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when we do list a new video. Check out our Etsy shop. All of our soaps now are listed just solely on Etsy. We have a lot of great products, as I mentioned. So if you go to relaxingcreationsco.com, that will take you to our shop. Or you can do relaxingcreationsco.etsy.com. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.